Okay, everybody, this is week number 5 for the Bake Shop. We're doing the collaboration still with Dining Room. We've gotten into our Serve Safe and our Pro Start. Keep the kids a little active. We went ahead and we got into actually playing with a little of the ingredients over the last week. Didn't get as far as we'd like to from 2 lessons ago. Um, with the weighing, playing the scale game and the liquid measurers game. They haven't gotten the gist of that yet. So what I'm gonna do this week is we're gonna keep it rolling, but we're gonna combine about 3 weeks of lessons into one lesson. Last week, as you all know, we were doing the pie shells, rolling the pie shells from scratch, showing them how, excuse me, making a pie dough from scratch last week, and then we were rolling the pie shells into, open face pie. So this week they're supposed to go ahead and get their pie filling made. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and roll with the pie filling lesson, but wherever it calls for weights and measures, we're going to go ahead, we're going to stop, and we're going to run through the gauntlet with the cup to the gallon. And so that way it will hopefully try and get them enthused to understanding you gotta know your weights and measures when you're trying to make your pie. So usually I just gave it to them with nothing to attach it to. This year we're going to go ahead and try and give it to them with the pie filling and let them see. If you don't get your measurements right, your liquids, your dry ingredients right, then you're going to go ahead, make your pie filling, and then taste it. See if it tastes right to you without the measurements being right. So we're going to run it like that for this upcoming week. Monday should be just very simply going over the pie filling lesson, the pie filling recipe, making sure they understand where all the ingredients are, getting any prep work that we might need for it. The apples got to come in. We got to go ahead and peel those on out. Believe we're going to try and do a couple of sweet potato pies because in less than 4 weeks we're going to do the Thanksgiving pie sale. Chef Pashney has been trying to get together, and I'm going to try and sell those for Thanksgiving. Um, the other thing that we're looking at doing is on Tuesday, once the pies are out, getting the mise en place set. It's going to be a third opportunity for them to attempt to get a mise en place set. We're going to move the time for them from 10 minutes to 15 minutes. But that's only because they've got more ingredients on this particular recipe. Usually we'd be going from about 15 minutes and counting down to about 12 to 10 so they can speed up at getting their mise en place together. But this is going to be the week that the shining students that have been excelling and getting their measurements and so forth done fast, they're going to get the big surprise. So what I usually do is let them go ahead and get their recipe together, get their mise en place all set down on the table, and then when I call for demo, I go and I take their ingredients and I use their ingredients to make the demo. Well, the entire time that they're watching it, they're like, hey, where's my ingredients? Oh, I guess the teacher is making mine. So mine's gonna be good. And I'm just gonna sit there and watch them make it. Well, as they're watching me make it, then at the end of it, they're not gonna have any ingredients. And so then I say, okay, everybody's gotta go and make theirs. Never fails. The kids say, well, I don't have any ingredients. Well, now it's time for you to go ahead and get your mise en place set even faster than the 15 minutes that we allowed, and you need to catch up with everybody else that's in the classroom. So when they do that, they begin to have all of those um, brain stimulating thoughts that just begin to fire and say, okay, how can I do this fast? Because I don't want to be behind these other kids. So they start moving faster. Once they start moving faster, the other kids that are sitting there are like, hey, I was always ahead of this. I was already ahead of my classmate. Let me pick up the speed. So it's a way in trying to get everybody by week 7 and 8, when we really get into the cookies and so forth, to pick up their speed. And then they start thinking about, for other demonstrations that they want to have done for them, which is everything for the first semester. I better mise en place too, because I know that Chef is going to take one of ours and I don't want him to take mine. So they go ahead and they start practicing getting their mise en place together even faster, and now they're doing more. So this is the lesson plan for next week. That's taking you just up to Tuesday. Wednesday is going to be the day in which they're actually going to, after watching my demo on Tuesday, they're going to go in and they're going to start making it. Me and Chef Pashney and Miss Chaplin and Miss Wallace, we're going to go around and, help out where we can. Those that need a little assistance, go ahead and hop on in. And then on Thursday is going to be the day in which they're all by themselves. We're going to watch them. They're going to ask so many different questions, and we're just going to try and lead them down the path that they were already on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because they're going to pretty much know all of the answers for the questions that they have. They just really haven't thought about it. So we're going to go ahead on Friday, and anything in which a kid did not get done throughout the week, maybe they didn't measure their stuff. Somebody in the group measured the majority of the things. Maybe when it was over at the stove, they were doing dishes, and so they missed a piece of the stove, cooking of it on the actual stove. Maybe somebody didn't roll their pie shell just the way that they wanted for their pie filling to go in. So on Friday is when you get to do all of the makeups for anything that you didn't have throughout the week, and you can call for assistance just like you did on Wednesday. So that's what the lesson plan is really going to be set for. You can click the link below and see the actual lesson plan. The products that we're going to be using, they'll also be in the description below, and you can just grab those different things and follow along with the lesson when it gets posted. There are no other questions. Love you. We'll see you next week.